Hi folks, I just wanted to take a minute to show you a couple quick styling tips as you get to work on designing your muckraker bentos. Couple quick things. First thing I want to address is how to crop images and crop them into shapes. So I'm going to pull up on my other tab here. I have an image of Jacob Riis. I'm going to copy the image, bring it back to the slide, and Control V or paste the image. I am going to resize it. Let's say I want to cut out some of this background image here. If you click on your image and you go up to the cropping tool and you click, you'll get the cropping lines and you can edit and click and drag, make the image a little smaller. I don't want to do that. I'm going to undo that. Click and drag and make the image as small as you want. And there you have a nice smaller square image of Jacob Riis. I also wanted to show you how to turn the image into a shape. So instead of just a boring old square, if you go back to the cropping image tool, if you go down to the drop down and you click, you can choose from any of the shapes that you like. Can't go wrong with a classic circle, of course. Go back if you don't like that, you go back to the arrow, click. You can turn them into a paper scroll if you want to, although that looks a little odd. But I'm going to go back to the circle because that looks pretty good. So now I have a picture of Jacob Riis that I can resize. I can make smaller, I can make bigger, what have you. And I am going to show you how to add another element to make your design look a little bit better. And that's called adding a drop shadow. So you'll notice it looks a little bit flat. If you click on your image and you go up to format options and you go over here, yours might look like this. But if you go to drop shadow and you click that box here, it adds a little bit of a 3D element. So it doesn't look as flat. Of course, you can play around with the features with all of that, add the shadow how big as you want. I'll show you again with this box over here what a difference it makes. There you go. Just adds a little bit of a pop. So there is Jacob Riis as a circle with some shadow. You can also add borders to your image. If you click on the image and you go up here to border weight, you can, right now it's no border, but you can of course add a border however you like. It can be huge, it can be, then if you want, you can of course change the colors, whatever you want to do, it's all there for you. Play around, have fun. The next thing I want to do is show you how to remove the background in an image. So let's say you wanted to get a picture of an antique camera onto your slides. I'm going to copy and paste, obviously. There we go. But you'll notice it's kind of a big clunky camera. I just want the camera itself. I don't want this like cream background. What I'll do here is I'll go back. I'm going to right click and hit save image as and save it to the computer. Call it whatever you want. I am going to save it as old camera. I'm going to replace it. So it shows up down here for me. What I'll do next is use this link that I provided for you here called remove background image. I have it here in this tab. I'm going to click and drag. You might have to add it from the computer itself, but either way, you'll download it. It shows up in either on your drive or on the computer itself. I'm going to click and drag from my toolbar down here and whoops. And there you have it. I am going to get rid of this. I have an old-timey camera. Of course, I'm going to add my drop shadow just to add a little bit of some depth. For styling purposes, you can layer. And there you have it. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can put it on top. The other thing, it doesn't say this in the style tips, but you can change the order of the images. Let's say you want to put this behind. If you go up here to arrange, you can change the order and send it to the back. And then, of course, there's always view art, word art, excuse me. There you have it. You can play around with font. You can play around with colors. All right.